Hello, my name is Kevin Lally. I'm the Executive Director of the Crypto Valley Association. The association is located in Zug, Switzerland, and it's all a part of the greater Zurich area of Switzerland, which is Zurich, Schwyz and Canton Zug. The association is the main coordination hub for assisting for all crypto technology and blockchain related activities in the ecosystem, and we are there to foster and grow and establish the ecosystem and to grow it for the future generations of Switzerland. We work very closely with the local government, which in itself works very closely with the federal government to assist the growth of the economy, the ecosystem there. And we also work very closely with the Swiss financial regulator, which is FINMA. We assist startups in providing them with the red carpet treatment to in entering the ecosystem, to give them a guidance on how they can found their business, and addressing the initial startup steps for founding that business. And we are then affiliated, or we have members of the Crypto Valley Association that then can assist the startup with the more advanced or more mature steps of starting that business or growing it or establishing it. We have approximately at the moment 10 working groups. That is 2 months ago we only had 8, and we're because we're the ecosystem is growing, the requests, the depth of the topics that we're addressing is growing. We have now increased it to 10 working groups. The working groups are essentially groups of people, teams of people that address a specific topic that is relevant for the ecosystem in Switzerland. I will briefly go down through them. We have policy and regulatory working group. We have the startups and onboarding working group. We have the investor working group, which tries to locate the best startups. We then have the technology working group, which is affiliated with the universities and the student community within the environment. We then have the events communication working group. That's 2 separate ones, events working group and communications. And then we have the education and certification working group. Finally, then we have the blockchain enterprise working group, which brings us to the total number of 10 that facilitate the coordination of the different activities to assist the ecosystem growing and all of the topics there that are relevant. So yeah, you wish to know about the
Yes.
Trust Square?
Yes, we do.
So the Trust Square is one of, it was on my presentation earlier, it is the one of the key incubators where the startups often find office space and to rent and to then develop and to set up their business. They often choose an incubator as the starting point for which to have their employees, and then they use that as a basis to develop their initial product, service, and then when they're profitable, they often, maybe after a year or 2, they move out of the incubator and rent their own office space when the business is viable and profitable. So one of the key incubators is Trust Square, which is located in Zurich, just off Bahnhofstrasse, which is the main street in Zurich. Beautiful area. Along with another incubator would be the CV Labs, Crypto Valley Labs, that is owned and run by Lakeside Partners in Zug. And another incubator would be Office Labs, also located in Zug, which is in the old post office in the town. Validity Labs is also a very popular incubator in the area. Yeah, and that's a number of the top players there. The city of Zug is it is one of the key places to do business. First and foremost is the aspect of how things are governed there locally. You have a decentralized, neutral, and people-orientated government there, whereas initiatives come from the people up to the government and what rules and regulations are put in place, instead of the top-down, which is in most countries. So people appreciate this form of government. It's a direct democracy and it's highly effective. I would even go so far to say that it's the best form of government in the world, which leaves SUG in such a strong leading position globally for the blockchain and crypto technology movement. Another factor would be, of course, taxation. Corporate and individual tax is extremely helpful in that it is a lower form of tax compared to other jurisdictions in Europe, and that obviously for the corporates that assists the startups and the companies coming there, because corporate tax is favourable or low. It's approximately 15%, which is an extremely low form of tax compared to other jurisdictions such as the neighbouring countries, France, Germany, Austria, even possibly Poland. I'm not sure of their corporate tax, but I don't believe it's so low. But essentially, then the individual tax is extremely low as well, which then that's what one of the factors that attracts talent to the area. Of course, they come with a very high skill set from the universities all around Europe, and then the actual taxation of individuals is so low that it allows people to they have a greater take-home pay. Their net salary is greater than they would experience or get in another European country, and this is very helpful for, of course, for living and for planning, for individuals planning for the future, starting families, building homes, and starting their own businesses if they wish to do so. Yeah, the other aspects, the regulatory environment in SUG is extremely attractive. The environment is very open, very flat, and highly engaged with the public. They often encourage a self-regulatory approach rather than the strict constrictive approach of shoehorning less flexible rules into an innovative and new environment. So this open self-regulating approach is extremely helpful, and yeah, it's good to grow the local ecosystem. Of course, just the quality of life, in all-encompassing the quality of life. For the individuals, you have the health system in Switzerland is second to none. It's possibly the best health system in the world, along with maybe a few of the Asian countries have quite good, but Japan is quite good, from what I understand. But the health system is second to none in Switzerland. It's having been there 10 years myself, I had once or twice to visit, and the services, the care, and the professionalism is outstanding. Education, the access to quality level schooling at primary, secondary, and third level education again is at a standard where it's leading quality, and some of the leading universities in the world are located within an hour's distance from the centre of Switzerland, Zug. That's the ETH in Zurich, St. Gallen, University of St. Gallen, which is a business-orientated university, and of course the Hochschule Luzern, the University of Luzern, in Lucerne and Rotkreuz and Canton Zug. The first objective in coming to Poland is to encourage Polish startups, Polish companies to maybe address with the local governments here and the federal government the challenges that we don't face in Switzerland. So it is to highlight the barriers that do not exist in Switzerland that possibly exist here, and highlight them for the Polish startups, Polish companies, so that they can possibly remove them or address them with the local authorities here. That's number one, so it comes from a non-selfish, a helpful basis that facilitates and encourages and grows the motivation for Polish companies to succeed ultimately, whether that is in the Swiss jurisdiction, which we of course encourage and we welcome people to move there, but if not, then is to challenge the current setup in Poland to make it as optimal as possible, so that Poland can grow strong and develop itself into the future. And of course, if that is the case, and if that materializes, Switzerland would always and of course like to build bridges and to build ties with Poland so that we can share experiences, share information, and help each other out. I'm sure there's aspects or things Poland are doing exceptionally well. I know they're a very hard-working nation that have you have a wonderful growing population here. It's a young population, and the example, your cities are some of the fastest growing in Europe at the moment. Actually, Poland is the fastest growing nation in the EU at the moment, from what I understand. So obviously something great is happening here, and we would like to be close to that. We would like to also learn from Poland to see what we could adopt, what we could enhance in our own setup and approach. We're different cultures, and in sharing different cultural backgrounds and perspectives, we can grow and prosper as a race as a human race.